I messaged you the link to the line.
Thank you.
You can put it on the page if you like.
I've never seen it, so I was hoping. Yeah. I was like, you know, wearing everything. I'm gonna go. Wait, while we're here, oh my god. Wait, where? At first you said this last night. No, that was quality control.
Oh, that's so sick. Yeah, cool. It's slowing down. I was like, people would want to do it in the winter. It's easier to cut them down probably in the winter. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do like.
I'm gonna try to cut down the tree.
Are you gonna do like a high school?
Yeah, you can do it.
I'm gonna
seem that hard. It's not a huge tree.
First one I killed.
I mean, it's really tall, but it's really skinny. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Like, if it goes up against the roof, I was gonna try to just cut the top off the roof and put some over it. Yeah, it seems like a good job. I mean, it seems like a fun job. Yeah, it is. I will not pursue the career after I do it once. Yeah, that seems awesome.
We're going live.
What? Live? Yeah. That's crazy.
We're at a conference, so here we are. It wasn't funny on Monday. You did not think it was funny. You looked at me like this guy. Spread. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Elementary school.
Yeah.
Oh my god! The worst yeah, right?
Set up I'm hoping next week working a lot. It doesn't seem very
Oh, an individual. I feel like that one. It was 16. Oh, I'm very excited because I was talking about
I got this pretty cool.
we'll start soon today.
Basically,
And like people are kind of like,
She said that
we like to go to like.
So I got these now. We're gonna have to
so we need to be able to
But also, I think it's more out of it's not just like I mean, it's
What
Are they for the lamps? The lamps. There's the two things where there's the power and then there's that sounds like it's there.
There's some more of that. Everything's up as high as well.
It's like just louder. I don't know. It could be a little louder. It's not that huge of a room, so it's not really
Wait, turn it down some and then push that line like. Maybe try taking the RCAs out. Can it only do like 1 at a time or something?
Do again?
Hey.
Is that okay? And everyone's like, well, why would you want to see the exam if you're here? And you're like, oh, it's really weird. And I was just like, sorry. Yeah, we did know it.
Oh, I know what's going on. All right.
It was much
All right.
One of my students, I go, which
Hey.
Booming.
That's loud.
I wouldn't know if I didn't go into the music.
That's my height. That's the height. The small.
Do you need music?
No.
Oh yeah.
It's so much fun.
We're gonna get started in like 10 or 15 minutes. Just throwing it out there.
I'm still
soon.
So we're waiting on Sean.
We're just waiting for Sean. He'll be here soon. No, I just talked to him. Any carrot?
First time I watched
It's weird because I'm not used to that kind of because then I show up and they're like, you know what you're talking about, and I'm like, I mean I do, but like, you don't know that. I don't know, it's like, it's kind of cool because it's like also reinforces all the things that you know. I like it, I like doing that. Or, I don't know, and I think I do the right thing. Because like all these people are called for this, like, they want to prune these trees and it's like and like you'll hurt. A lot of people will just sell it because that's what they want. But I don't want to hurt the tree, you know, because it will work. Not really. Like me and Steven did one for Tyler's clothes. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's James. We were just there. Did you see him? He makes like jelly buns. Is this what you're Oh yeah, no, he's just, it's in his room, he makes a picture. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Steve and I just did a shoot, and it's like, I haven't even been able to edit anything. Waiting for the next one. Brought all the Halloween things. I was really hoping to have a Halloween party. I don't think we're gonna have one. That's just like. Yeah. I'm gonna hang out with my grandma. She likes Halloween. Sometimes we like go to like like old pizza. A lot of old pizza.
Keep those under wraps.
We used to do it a lot more. We were into it. It was really, like, our house was really. So, or just like one. But it's free.
Nobody take any deep breaths. Oh wow, I can't believe it's really time for the show to start! Hi everyone! Welcome to the beautiful world of comedy. Thank you all for coming tonight. There's $2 beers in the back if you want one. And let's get the show started. How's everybody feeling tonight? That's what I'm talking about. So I got a rejection letter in the mail last week from the therapist. Basically, I had a meeting with her where I just kind of like told her a little bit about myself, and she was just like, nah. I'm good. She recommended intensive psychological care and substance abuse counseling, and I was like, you don't even fucking get me, okay? So it was just really weird because I'm like, this is the best I've ever been. This is like my most well I've ever been. I can't believe that this person did not get me. If I had gone there 3 years ago, I wouldn't have even gotten a rejection letter. Her older brother would have come to my house and been like, don't ever talk to that therapist again. There would have just been like a bag of flaming dog shit, and I would have been like, oh, guess I gotta look for a different therapist. Oh, no. But yeah, it was, this month was like National Coming Out Day happened, which was cool. Thank you, one gay person. I have personally been out for 3 whole years this month. Yeah. It's been a wild ride, and I'm going to share a little bit about that wild ride with y'all. So initially when you first come out, the first thing that you have to confront is your look. Because you gotta change that look. Personally, I went for shoulder-length sandy blonde hair, a denim button down and a novelty bow tie, and maybe suspenders, because you know what? It's a confusing time. You're just reaching out into the darkness, and maybe you grab Western wear. Once a horse girl, always a horse girl. That's what they don't tell you when you're galloping around on the playground. Think it's all fun and games till you're 21 and coming out as gay and you're looking real bad. But luckily that, I outgrew that and I realized, you can just wear a regular shirt. You don't have to look like an 8-year-old that goes to a Montessori school. You can look like a teacher at a Montessori school. I was like, I wonder if people know what a Montessori school is, but clearly you do. But yeah, so after that happens, so that phase ends, and then begins the slutty phase, where you're like, wow, this thing that I've hidden from myself for so long, too long. I'm finally able to live my truth, but I still am ashamed of it, so I better drink. And then you're like, I'm drunk, I'm making up for lost time, and you just make a lot of mistakes out there in the world during that period of time, because you're just thinking I gotta make up for all the sleepovers that I missed with all girls where we could have been playing Spin the Bottle or 7 Minutes in Heaven or something and experimenting, but instead my parents let me have a computer in my room. So I was at home looking at Wikipedia articles and jerking off to them. Just looking up on Wikipedia sex. Here we go. But yeah, so it's just been it's been pretty cray. Kind of ruining the mood there, but no big. Thank you. Trying to get a little sexy in here. I don't know if you noticed. You guys have the Wikipedia app on your phones. No, but so the third phase is the phase I'm in now, which is the desert of queer isolation, where you're just now I realize that I am still me, and I have to deal with that. So, but it's cool. It's cool because I don't mind being single at all. I love it because I'm dating myself, And I'm sure a lot of you are in the audience thinking, but Molly, you're so handsome. I know. But there's more to a woman than how handsome she is. But it's cool. I'm dating myself, and here's what I like about dating myself. 1, I can fart all I want in bed at night, all night long. 2, I finish my own sentences. 3, I'm a handful in bed. So it's it's great. I'm a great girlfriend to myself. Because sometimes you just have a total lack of tolerance for other people's idiosyncrasies. And a total ignorance of my own enormous personal flaws. So the only thing that's really changed, I think, before I came out and now, the only thing that has really changed is that now, people ask me how I have sex. And some of you are probably thinking nobody really asks you, how do lesbians have sex, do you? And then the other ones are oh my god, I definitely asked how lesbians have sex to someone, to her, But it really does happen. I've had people be so what is it that you do? Is it is it like that, or do you what is it? And then I end up backed into this corner where I'm all right, fine, I admit it, we don't have sex. Sex is only between a man and a woman in God's eyes. You got me. So, so far this is the it gets better point. Before that, I was in school and I got bullied all the time, for being a lesbian. And it was weird because I was doing everything in my power to not seem like a lesbian, but in turn it ended up making me kind of dress like a drag queen. I was interpreting what I thought femininity was. So I'd come to school wearing a rainbow coat and 2 pairs of sunglasses. And I'm hello, gentlemen. What do you think of these? And they're lesbian! And I'm how do you think that? Surely they can read my mind. And there's 2 bikini babes dancing in it, so that makes sense. But yeah, I got bullied and stuff, but I didn't ever get bullied as much as this one kid who had 2 moms. because he had no defense. Like, I was able to be like, what if I sucked a dick? But, you know, his moms aren't going to stop being two moms. So I felt bad for him because I was like, I knew what it was like. And so I was like, you know, anytime somebody bullied him, I'd be like, hey, leave him up in this world. And later they got divorced and I was like, you piece of shit. Ugh, I knew it. You'd ruin it. But yeah, it's I also like I did date men when I was like a teenager, and I dated this one guy. Here's the thing: when you're not embracing your true self and you are trying to do something that isn't really you, you end up settling for a lot of bullshit just because you're not looking with your eyes. You know, I am ashamed to say this, but I dated a man who wore a top hat all the time, every day, to the park, to the grocery store with cargo shorts, okay? Just any old time he's wearing it. Old timers would come up to him and be like, my, I haven't seen a hat like that in a long time. It's mighty fine. And he'd be like, yeah, I have a pretty great personality. I don't know if you noticed the hat, but I think it indicates that my personality is not one-dimensional, so... It's like he played the trumpet. I'm like, ugh. It's a fine instrument if you're not wearing a top hat while you play. So, you know, mistakes were made. And I remember the first time I ever went on a gay date, it was by accident. I didn't know that it was a date. And I was like, you know, younger. And she was a little older than me. And she was this cool, womanly woman. And she had an apartment in Center City that was like $2,000 a month. And she paid for it because she invested in Apple when she was like 10. And I'm like, wow, you're like amazing. I can't believe it. She was really cool. Took me to my first comedy show. And when we were sitting down at dinner, that's when it occurred to me that she was like, this is a date. I didn't know. I thought we were hanging out as friends. And in that moment, when I realized that she was like interested in me that way, I was like, oh my God, this is my moment. Go to her, you homo. But I couldn't go to her. You know why? Because I was dating that top hat guy! No! Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to go home to my boyfriend who is in a funk band. Oh, his favorite funk band? The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Hence the top hat. He's very unique. So yeah, you know, and then the state of the world is not good for the gay people because, you know, we got the assholes that are running the place. And, you know, the vice president literally believes that electroshock therapy can cure the illness that is being gay. And I'm like, one thing I'll give him is being gay is pretty ill. But that's just fucked up. I mean, if the time comes, the joke will be on him because I'm a fucking masochist. So I'm like, ugh. Give me another! Can I get a female electrocutionist over here? Thank you guys. Are you guys ready to hear your first comedian of the night? This next comedian is a wonderfully funny young person, and her name is Kara Sankas.
Hi guys.
Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
I know last time I was not speaking into the microphone correctly. Happy almost Halloween.
Woo!
It's fall, finally. Everyone looks so nice tonight. Personally, I have to plan my outfits based on how many dads I think will be in an event. Because I have some tattoos, but the one that affects my life the most is this peach tattoo I have on my arm. Dads love addressing the peach tattoo. They say, what are you, from Georgia? I'm not, and that's okay that they ask. I knew that was going to happen. But they have it with an air that they, like, outsmarted me. Like, what are you, from Georgia? As if I got it thinking, no one's going to know why I got this one. And they say, Georgia, and I go, no! Even more condescendingly is, oh, is that an Allman Brothers tattoo? Because they have a peach on one of their albums. I don't think anyone has a good enough relationship with their dad to get an Allman Brothers tattoo. The cuter side is when moms ask me about it. They're like, are you from Georgia? And I go, no, I'm from Delaware, but like I get that all the time, and it's funny, and we have a laugh. And if her husband looks at me, I'm like, don't. So I got a little solution for this. Got this little patch right where it lies. Because no one wants to hear the story of a patch on their jacket. So I went to Catholic school for 12 years. So I feel guilty for everything, and I will apologize for anything. It was all in the same building. 1st through 8th grade were on the 1st floor in the basement, and high school was on the 2nd floor. And then right after that, I went to art school. So when you go to art school, people just ask each other for apologies all day long for 4 years. So after I did that, after you do that at art school, you graduate, and then you get a job at a restaurant. And that's what art school is.